Good morning. Welcome to Unitarian Coastal Fellowship, a place where many paths meet, where we honor the rich tapestry of spiritual traditions, and where all are welcome to responsibly explore their own connection to the sacred. I am Reverend Leslie Runnels, and I use she, her pronouns. Joined today, co-leading worship service today with Susan Roberts. Thank you very much. A big thank you to Maria Lundgren stepping in on accompanist. Yay. Karen Baggett, our song leader again, and Martha and Barb making all the technology happen so that everybody can hear us, but also our friends on Zoom are able to hear us and see us well. If you are visiting us for the first or second time today, would you raise your hands that we may welcome you? Oh, wonderful. Hi there. Anybody else? All right. And we will bring a microphone to you if you would like to introduce yourselves to us. And if you prefer not to, you don't need to, but I already met Pam back there. Would you like to introduce yourself to us with the microphone?
Could you use this so people on Zoom can hear too? Thank you. I'm a retired teacher from Carteret County, and I've been here since '94, and I've been seeking a church, and so I'm giving you all a try.
Welcome, Pam.
I like the I'm impressed by the open-mindedness. That's one thing that led me here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes.
I'm Layla and I'm 8 years old and I live in Virginia.
Welcome, Layla. The very back. Layla is here for the summer, I hear, so we'll get to see her a lot more.
Hi, I'm Zoe and this is Luke. We're originally from North Carolina, but we just moved back from Colorado. We were there for 3 years and we were UUers out there. And we're seeking a bit more community out here. We had a really great community out there and we've had a bit of an awakening since coming back. So we're hoping to settle in a little bit. So
Welcome back.
Hi, I'm Paige.
Hi, Paige. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Shelley Harms. I've been here a few more than twice, but I'm visiting from Connecticut. Pat and Ron Harms' daughter. Glad to see you all.
Great to have you back. And now you can bring that to our Zoom room and we will find out who is joining us from the ether world.
On Zoom today, we have Susan Fetzer, Martha Nassett, Dan Phillips, and Brian Yonts.
Wonderful. Let's wave to our friends on Zoom. Thank you for joining us. All right, just a few announcements today. Yesterday was the anniversary of the first Pride event that happened in 1969, the uprising at the Stonewall Inn. And yesterday, a bunch of us gathered at Emerald Isle to play and dance and be Pride. And we gave out tattoos and we gave out glitter blessings and pens and stickers and bookmarks and bracelets and necklaces and beads and all kinds of stuff. It was a really wonderful event. Thank you to Amy and Lee for doing the majority of the organizing on that. Yeah. It was so wonderful to be in like that vibrant community. Like everybody showed up with like joy and that like the resistant joy, right? Because we are in a world that would like that joy to die. And we're like standing up and dancing and saying, no, thank you. And then in the afternoon, we came to Middle Street or Middle Lane in Beaufort, and they had hired a couple of dance instructors who took us through the curly shuffle or the Cupid shuffle and the slide. And it was only 97 degrees and on the pavement. It was great. Adam was glistening as usual. I also want to let you know that this Monday, tomorrow night, is the Meatless Monday potluck. So you can sign up online or you can just show up, bring your favorite vegetarian dish, and let's all be in community together and break bread. Also tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and at 10:30 a.m., we have been contacted by the indigenous communities that are in this area asking us to show up to the courthouse. About a year ago, they were doing some development on some land, and as they were digging, they found a lot of indigenous remains and pottery. And so they kind of halted the construction. And so this group of indigenous people were on that land, and they were doing a ceremony for the people who were in the ground there and the lives that were in the ground. And they were met with some off-duty police violence, including somebody throwing an indigenous elder woman, slammed her to the ground. So it has been a hard court case for this community, and they would love it if we would show up. So 9 o'clock tomorrow morning and 10:30 tomorrow morning at the Beaufort Courthouse, and I'll be there. All right, that's all of our announcements. So now we're going to settle in a little bit, get ready for a spiritual transformative experience, and we'll let music guide us along the way.
Our opening words today come from Lorelei Greenwood Jones. Please join me in this responsive reading and read the words in italics. In this place, we need not be alone. We seek a listening ear, a warm heart, open arms. Thank you. We are a community of individual beings living our own lives, yet coming together now and then in joyous celebration of spirit and one another. Here, joys are shared and sorrows comforted. We are seen and heard and believed. We are a gathering of like-hearted people, and here our hearts filled. We hear the wisdom and counsel of our minister and that of one another. In this place, may we find what our spirits desire and what our spirits need. May we be grounded in love and sharing. And now let us speak these words as one. Come, let us worship together. Okay, Holly, light the candles for me. Thank you. Our chalice lighting comes from Eric Hepburn. We light this flame to remind us love is the center. As we grow and connect, mature and deepen, love remains the center. When the light of truth burns all else away, love remains. We also light our peace candle to remind ourselves that peace is a process that requires work, that peace is not merely an absence of conflict, but the presence of justice. And now, please rise and body your spirit for our anthem this month, number 153, Oh, I Woke Up This Morning.
And I think we should all have that memorized by now, don't you?
Each week, we make space and time to be human and celebrate our joys and grieve our sorrows together. Should you wish to share a personal joy or sorrow about a person or persons in your life, there is paper to fill out over here in the corner. Place it in the basket, and I will read it aloud as part of the ritual. And we'll have two lines, one line forming over here, one line forming over here. The ritual is to come and select a rock or a stone or a shell or a bell or a bacan, whatever's in there. Place it into the chalice to be held in community care, that you know that your joys and your sorrows are not alone. Please come forward. have a few community concerns to share with you first. Susan, would you be ready to place 3 stones for us? To let you know that Happy Eubanks passed away in her sleep on Sunday night, peacefully. We will let you know when the memorial service is planned. We send love to her family and you as her friends as the morning begins. Send love to Jason Pesh as they prepare for a second surgery to remove kidney stones. And one more for the people of Iran who were killed and injured this week. May they wake up to peace someday soon. And then I believe this is from Adam. My friend Rihanna died of cancer yesterday. Pray, or whatever it is you do, for Jonathan, her husband, and he's in recovery, so this will be extra hard on him. This is also about Happy, and I'll just add that they say that Happy was a joy to all who knew her, and she was very aptly named. Pray for Layla's grandma who broke her leg. So sorry to hear that. And Neve Eileen Torrey was born May 20th, which is the first grandchild of David Torrey and Shelley Harms. Congratulations. Wonderful. Laura says that we have a new principal at West Carteret. May he be a blessing to our community. And pray for Jason Pesh. We're all concerned about the next surgery that he's coming up. May his team, his medical team, may their medical team provide them with the best care possible. And Monique would like to share that my girlfriend's art booth at Pride Prom did very well. Fantastic. Pride was happening everywhere. Was this in New Bern or in Greenville? New Bern, right. Beautiful. And Xander comes home tomorrow for his 21 days of leave. So you'll have him for 3 weeks. Wonderful. And maybe we'll get to see him too. Beautiful. Thank you. This community witnesses your joys and your concerns, even the ones not spoken aloud or the ones that are slowly forming in your heart. May you know love. May you know peace, and may you know you are not alone. Amen. And now we have our time for all ages. Sarah has been sick, so she's not here today, but we are still having classes. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So first we're going to have a video. This video is about our values. Say it again. 2 wooden blocks. Is that what this is about? 2 wooden blocks, right? That's what this is about. So we are a faith that welcomes many theologies to play in this space together. And we don't have one book that tells us what to believe, what to say, how to be a good person. So we pull inspiration from many resources. And in order to get us to make sure we all get along, because sometimes people don't always get along well, we have values. That I saw somebody just rib their person next to them. That was pretty cute. We have created a set of principles. You might have heard of the 8 principles. And we also have these 6 values that are centered on love. And sometimes it's helpful to remember principles and values by finger movements. So this is a way for us to remember our values. So if we're out in the community and somebody says, what is Unitarian Universalism all about? We don't know about you. You can say, well, here's our values. Here's what we hold close. Okay? So let her rip, Barb.
A handy guide to the values of Unitarian Universalism. Unitarian Universalism has a set of values, ideas we believe are important. I'm going to help you learn them using my hands. Now, the values can be in any order you like. In this handy way of learning them, Each one has a number, so you can follow along with your hands and fingers. We're going to start the transformation. Imagine your fist is a seed. Now slowly unfurl your finger like it's a sprout coming from the seed. Transformation means to adapt to a changing world and to grow spiritually. As your seed grows, it will look like the moon. That's how you can remember the first value, transformation. The next value is equity. Hold up 2 fingers and turn them sideways. See how they kind of look like an equal sign? Equity is that everyone should be treated with inherent dignity. This makes people feel like equals. That's how we can do equity. It's it's about God. Two range of different cultures and experiences. To hold at once and for each other is the value of pluralism. The next value is justice. We're going to take our 4 fingers and curl to a fist and hold it apart. This is a sign of strength. It's very strong to dismantle racism and fight for justice. Value number 5 is generosity. Hold out your hand as though some gift. Generosity means to share the things you have that make a difference to others, like faith, presence, and resources. And next one is love. Hold up 6 fingers. Use your pointer finger of one hand to trace a heart in the center of the other hand. Love is at the center of all of our values. Love is the power that holds us together. Our 7th value is interdependence. This is just a fancy word that means we're all connected to each other. Hold up 7 fingers. Walk your 2 fingers from one hand over to the palm of the other hand. Down to take a close look. Do you see how your palm is full of connected lines like a web? We are connected and depend on one another. That's how you can remember interdependence. Those are our unique values. That love is at the center and through all our values. We carry the values in your own hands. Your values today.
I realize that might look a little bit weird out in the community when you're doing these things, but it will be helpful for you to remember them. So now we're going to sing our children to their classes today where they get to learn and share and grow and transform. I sing you a Lord, and it matters what you We invite you now into a moment of silence and meditation. We'll begin meditation with 3 deep breaths together, and then the breathing will bring us into the meditative space, and music will bring us out at the end. So let's begin with 3 deep breaths. One more.
How many of you remember returning to elementary school in September or late August and being asked for your first assignment to write a page or two about what you did or what you learned over the summer? Anybody? So I've been thinking about what I did and what I learned at General Assembly. So for those of you who might not be familiar with it, once a year, all the Unitarians have delegates and get together at a General Assembly. These days, it's in person one year and virtual the next year. So I was very fortunate to be able to go this year, and it was my first time, so it was quite an experience. I'd like to begin by using 3 C's to describe GA: community, caring, and connection. Over 1,000 UUs attended GA in person and another 2,000 plus virtually. They represented 592 congregations, 48 states, and 4 countries. We here at UCF are part of a wonderful, large, kind, and doing our best to be inclusive community. I was able to meet and talk with and share experiences with UUs from all over. And every person I met was passionate about the challenges of living our values and making the world a better place. Caring for each other in a very real way was behind everything that happened. A large amount of planning and effort was made to be inclusive to all. This may sound a bit corny, but looking back, I realized that every event I attended and every interaction I had was based in, perhaps surrounded by, kindness and caring. My 3rd C is connecting. For me, GA was a great opportunity to connect with other UUs, UUA leaders offering workshops, new programs and ideas, and the workings of the UUA in business sessions. I returned home from GA energized about all that UUs are doing and very proud about what we are doing here at UCF and the welcoming community that we have. Let me share some ideas and phrases that I heard that resonated with me. Phrases that I will need to remind myself of often. Our jet pig illustrates this quite well in our values, with love always at the center. So here are a few of my go-to cheers for myself. Tap into what we are for, not what we are against. Replace fear with love. What is love calling us to do? Live into our values. Find joy. Foster beloved community within and beyond our walls. And keep love at the center of all we do. And finally, there are 3 specific items I learned about that I'd like to share with you today. UUA has created a program called Mosaic, which is now available. It's been in the works for a couple of years. It's an online hub of connection, resources, and support for UUs dismantling racism and oppression. The Mosaic fosters belonging and liberation in UU congregations and communities and provides ongoing anti-racist and anti-oppression work for congregations who have already adopted the 8th principle. Mosaic also includes a certification program similar to the ones for welcoming congregations in Green Sanctuary. I was very fortunate to attend a workshop led by Alex Capitan, who a lot of us have seen in videos. The workshop was called Building Trans Justice, Safety, and Belonging. There are two very important things that were emphasized for me that we can do to be a more welcoming community. I think they're things we've thought about, but they haven't yet happened. The first one is to encourage everyone to have stickers on their name tags with their preferred pronouns and to make every effort to use each other's preferred pronouns. The second and very important thing we need in order to be a truly welcoming community is a general neutral bathroom or bathrooms. Okay, I also learned some new initials. The UUA delegates voted to adopt a congregational study / action issue, which is a CSAI. And this process involves a period of study, reflection, and action around the topic. In the third year of the process, GA delegates can vote to approve a statement of conscience resulting from 2 years of congregational feedback on the CSAI. That CSAI's adoption does not happen routinely every year. It's much more of a very special thing. There were 3 or 4 different ones that we voted on, and the one that was adopted is called, and I'm still trying to understand this, so it's called Abolition is Faith Formation. Abolition is a holistic approach to systemic social change that includes, but is not limited to, the abolition of slavery, replacing systems and cultures of violence, coercion, and control with transformative justice and relational practices, and dismantling the prison industrial complex as we now know it. It requires the transformation of our society and the replacement of our current public theologies of retributive justice and violence. It's no small job, is it? Okay. Now, my other set of initials I learned were AIWs. AIWs stands for Actions of Immediate Witness. They're statements about a significant action, event, or development in the world that necessitates immediate engagement and action among UU congregations and affiliated groups. This year, the delegates voted to affirm all 3 actions of immediate witness that were under consideration. They were faithful defiance of authoritarianism, a call to action, reaffirming our covenants for democracy and freedom. 2, funding global LGBTIQ freedom amid crisis, a call for immediate action and solidarity. And 3, we declare and reaffirm all people have inherent worth and inalienable rights. Yes. And what I'd like to leave you with is this. We at UCF and UUs everywhere are doing good and necessary work. Let us keep love at the center of all that we do, live into our values, and seek joy on our journey.
Right, and now I believe you. How about that little jet pig? That's pretty cute, isn't it?
Yes.
Also a good way to remember those values. So now we are going to sing a very iconic UU song. Anybody know what it is? What's an icon? Is it already up there? I love it when the teacher gives the answer out, right? That's right. This is a song that UUs love to sing, and it's a very good melody, and we love this song. So we're going to sing this song, and then at General Assembly, we were taught some more songs. So we're bringing some of that to you as well. So we're going to sing Blue Boat Home, and then we're going to sing together with some help of a video, This Boat. All right, so we've got two back to back. Thank you, Karen. So rise and not spirit.
And my Savior, whom I love. Let's see if we can keep swaying. You don't have it. You don't have the third slide. Thank you. Yes.
All right, so this is the other song that we're going to sing together. This was presented to us at Ministry Days, and it got stuck in my head in that best way possible. There's a phrase in the song. Oh, hang on. Nope, I'm in the wrong spot. Oh, yeah, okay. No, this is titled This Boat, and this is from our virtual hymnal. So instead of needing to buy more books and more books to put in the backs of our pews, we now have a virtual hymnal of all new songs that we can play with. We're trying to figure out how do we work with the virtual hymnal. So we're trying something, and we appreciate your help in trying it out.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, can you put the music slide up? Okay, this is what the music looks like. Now, rather than try and teach you all the chorus and the verses, we're just going to learn the chorus. And then when the the music video plays, then we'll just come in on the chorus. Okay? So as Reverend Leslie said, we're figuring this out. This is brand new. Okay, so Maria? All right. Okay, let's start the video and the word, just the lyrics will be on the screen now. So the melody's in your head, right? Yeah. We think we're ready.
Now y'all know what choir rehearsal is.
And I think
It's so sad. It's so sure.
sorry.
Thank you.
That was great. Thank y'all for trying that out. And I think we can play with that song a little bit more. I know you probably wanted to see the words of the chorus because you love to know what the words are. So that'll be coming soon too. There were some good lines in there. All right, so 3 days before General Assembly starts are called ministry days. And it's where the ministers of our faith get to come together, to worship together, to do workshops that are specifically related to their role. We do rites of passage, and we hear specific lectures and keynotes from ministers who have been at it for 25 years and for 50 years. My favorite part was watching all the ministers' children getting blessed through the children's dedication ritual. This is where ministers get to be in community together and do those religious rites of passage because we don't have our own churches where we would dedicate our children. So we do it in community once a year at General Assembly. And it's been small in the past. And this year there were 30 children who were getting dedicated, right? And it's also really good for the PKs, the preacher kids, to get to be together. Are there any PKs in here? Anybody grow up? One back there. Yeah. It's a special experience to grow up as a preacher's kid. And so it's really great for them to get to be together. I was also delighted to see that it wasn't just a bunch of gray-haired ministers like me up there. We are seeing younger and younger ministers coming into the ministry and lots more children in our ministry gatherings where we now provide childcare. This brings me such joy, just seeing that intergenerational aspect of our ministry. And also it provides me with lots of hope and confirmation that Unitarian Universalism has a future and a beautiful future. May it be so. Susan and I attended a workshop from Reverend John T. Crestwell from Annapolis, and it was titled 21st Century Worship. He reminds us that people come to church for worship, faith formation, and faith formation is just kind of a more modern way of saying religious education, and connection. Worship, faith formation, and connection, with worship being the primary magnet that kind of glues us to each other. His favorite quote that he spoke during the time, and those of you who know I love alliteration will see how thrilled I was. Competition creates champions. Collaboration creates community. Competition, which is what our capitalist ideology is set on as competition, creates champions. But collaboration creates community. So that is what y'all do. That is what we do here when we talk about shared ministry. That it's not just the minister up here who's dictating and saying yes and no to everything. We make all of our decisions together. We have leaders who step up at certain times to do the heavy lifting, but we are very much trying to work the model of collaboration and building community. Reverend John doesn't use a printed order of service. I thought Mark might like to know that. He says it's kind of old school. Instead, everyone gets a connection card. And on that connection card, it has the ability to track interest in certain activities. So maybe there's QR codes where you can register or click, yeah, I'm interested in that, but not in this, whatever. So it's like a little way for the church to gauge interest. And then it also has reflection questions that are related to whatever the topic of the sermon was. So it's a way to kind of take it home and take it a little deeper. And then there's one more thing on there, and I didn't get what he said. Probably really important. Maybe it's how to pay. No. And so I'm going to bring this back to the worship team for us to kind of think about how we want this. So when you come into a worship service, we do not want you to leave the same way you came in. We want it to be transformative, just like that little seed that's growing up of transformation. So we want to see like what we might be able to do with a connection card that kind of allows you to take the sermon a little bit deeper. So we're going to play with that. One of the other things that I attended was the FAHS lecture. That's FAHS. That's named for Sophia Lyons FAHS, who was one of the creators of modern American theological liberalism. She's also the creator of Unitarian religious education as a modern theological science of human emotion. So she was pretty groundbreaking in bringing emotions into science and figuring out how we use that in our religious education. This year's lecture of the FAHS lecture came from Reverend Sean Neil Barron, who's the minister at Foothills Unitarian Church in Colorado. And Reverend Sean reminded us that true power comes not from the follower counts on our social media, but from the people who will pick up when you call at 10 p.m. at night. When I got the email from the indigenous leaders in this community on, I think I got it Friday night, that was a 10 o'clock call to say, Monday morning, we need you at 9 o'clock and at 10:30. He continues, that trusted currency is earned by showing up through care that isn't performance, through being present when it doesn't necessarily benefit you. That's what moves mountains. Showing up with no agenda but care. That builds trust and grows over time. And that's not just a strategy. That's faith in practice. That's how we build a collective power that can shape a different world that we dream of. Here's another one I thought was great. And if you're not hunting for specific outcomes, you might find something far beyond what you assumed you were looking for. So I have this dream of us getting to 100 members, like this little target, right? I think we're right around 89 or something like that. It's like, oh, what if I stopped focusing on this number and start seeing what is beyond that I'm not even looking for, that we're not even looking for? What might we not know? He follows that up with, when you're not trying to get somewhere, you might just arrive exactly where your community needs you to be. Movements are built through critical conversations, not through critical mass. You can't organize strangers, and that is true. We talk about UUs being cat herders a lot, that we're always trying to herd the cats of UUs. If we do not have ourselves in caring community, if we don't know, people say, I know they have my back, but do you know their front, right? What's happening in their lives? What's their family? What are their children's names? What's their grandmother going through? People don't just join a cause, people join people. People don't want to be convinced, they want to be claimed. How about that? I really want to convince some people, really do. But they just want to be claimed. One more quote from Reverend Connie Simon. Liberal religion is not a spectator's sport. Followed by Reverend Bill Schultz. Anxiety is the price we pay for the gift of consciousness. So if you have anxiety in the world, anybody? Yeah, right? That's consciousness sneaking in, right? And here's my very favorite quote from Reverend Dr. Nicole Kirk, who delivered the sermon on Sunday morning. Freedom isn't the absence of restraint, it is the presence of love. So freedom is not about the absence of constraints and restraint. It's the presence of love. That's freedom. While we were joyfully being together at GA and running to Unitarian Universe all over the halls, and oh my goodness, there are so many Birkenstocks. We found out that the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in the Scrimity case and held that the transgender medical care ban for youth was constitutional. This effectively restricts access to gender-affirming medical care for thousands of transgender youth in 27 of our states. This is devastating news, and the UUs that gathered there came together for a ritual of grief. We were asked to give trans people their own space to grieve so that they were not burdened with the grief of cis allies and accomplices. And it was a beautiful, on the site, in the moment ritual. In response to that, I want to read you the poem Revenge by Eliza Chavez. Since you mention it, I think I will start that race war. I could have swung either way, but now I'm definitely spending the next 4 years converting your daughters to lesbianism. I'm going to eat all your guns, swallow them lock, stock, and barrel, and spit out the bullet casings onto the dinner table. I'll give birth to an army of mixed-race babies with fathers from every continent and genders to outnumber the stars. My legion of multiracial babies will be intersectional as hell. And your swastikas will not be enough to save you because real talk, you didn't stop the future from coming, you just delayed our coronation. We have the same deviant haircuts we had yesterday, and we're still getting gay married like nobody's business because it's still nobody's business. There's a Muslim kid in Kansas who has already written the schematic for the robot that will steal your job in manufacturing, and that robot will also be gay, so get used to it. We didn't manifest the mountain by speaking its name. The buildings here are not on your side just because you make them spray-painted accomplices. These walls do not have genders, and they all think you suck. Even the earth found common cause with us, the way you trample us both. Yeah, there will be signs and rainbow-colored drum circles and folks arguing ideology until even I want to punch them. But I won't, because they're my family in that blood of the covenant sense. If you've never loved someone like that, you can't outwaltz us. We have all the good dancers anyway, as was evident yesterday. I'll confess, I don't know if I'm alive right now. I haven't heard my heartbeat in days. I keep holding my breath for the moment the plane goes down and I have to save enough oxygens to get my friend through. But I finally found the argument against suicide, and it's us. We're the effigies that haunt America's nights harder the longer they spend burning us. We are scaring the heck out of people by spreading, by refusing to die. What are we but a fire? We know everything we do is so the kids after us will be able to follow something towards safety. What can I call us but a lighthouse? Of course I'm terrified. Of course I'm a shroud. And of course it's not fair, but rest assured, anxious America, you brought your fists to a glitter fight. This is a taco truck rally, and all you have is coleslaw. You cannot deport our minds. We won't hold funerals for our potential. We have always been what makes America great. Right? Brothers, we are not alone in this faith. We are not the only leaders in this faith or in this community. We play a particular role in this conservative part of the country. Welcome back, you back there. Where we do what I learned at General Assembly is called Red State Ministry. So that's what we do, Red State Ministry. Our values centered on love, that little jet pig, justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. These are the values we spread in the world. We first spread it amongst ourselves here, always learning new ways to be more whole and holy with each other. And then it ripples, spreading to a community that craves wholeness. May we all find our way together. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. I have one more song for you from General Assembly. This came out of ministry days and it got stuck in my head in the best way possible. We're going to sing along to a video, and the song is titled Crowded Table. And there's a phrase in it, I want a house with a crowded table. And I love that because I see how crowded our tables in the social hall get during coffee hour. And we want a house of crowded tables. So the words will be on screen along with the video. Just sing along when you feel ready.
Every month, we share the plate with a community organization. June's Share the Plate is for Carteret Community College's Sexuality and Gender Alliance, also known as SAGA. SAGA strives to make sure everyone feels comfortable in their own skin, and they hope to build a strong community that everyone feels welcome in. No one should feel alone, and SAGA works to ensure that that does not happen. Please give generously. Please join in blessing this offering with hymn 402, From You I Receive. Please join me in reading our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now in Espanol. Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.
And now in Unitarian Coastal Fellowship tradition, we line ourselves around the edges of the sanctuary, joining hands. If you'd like to stay in the center and be surrounded in love instead, please do so.
I'm going to play our postlude after this, so I'm going to be ready. But I appreciate you. I know.
Can I bust in here? Are we all connected? Momo, you staying in the middle to be surrounded in love? I love it. In the name of all that is holy, may the connections between us inspire us and sustain us. May the flame of life within us and amongst us be a sacred reminder that we are called to serve, to grow, and to love as we continue this beautiful journey of transformation. Amen. And now go in peace.